Hello and a pleasant day to my fellow teachers. I am Raynan Topaz, an assigned reporter for this day. My topic is the criteria of a good test. So then I will give you a more clear information about the criteria of a good test, because teachers in our educational environment, we teachers are not only being challenged to become more knowledgeable about test and test interpretation, but also being required to gain the knowledge and skills to become or to select test appropriately. Competency in the test depends upon the understanding test or purpose, as well as knowledge how to evaluate its quality. So, able to meet the standard of the criteria of a good test, it should have a 1. Reliability, 2. Validity, 3. Objectivity, and 4. Usability. Okay, our first criteria of a good test is reliability. From the word itself, it defines consistency, dependence, or trust. A measurement procedure is reliable to the extent that repeated measurement gives consistent result for the individual. A test is considered to be reliable if it yields consistent results to its successful administration. So by reliability of a test, we mean how dependable or faithful the test is. To express in general way, if a measuring instrument measures consistency, it is reliable. So I give you an example to make it more clear. If the witness gives the same statement on the issue when asked again and again by a lawyer in a court, we place confidence in his statement and take his statement to be reliable. So it means reliable is consistent, dependent, and trust. So some information from our proponents for more basis of the definition of a term reliable. According to Thorndike, it is consistency of a test with which it measures whatever it supports to be measured. So the reliability is to usually thought as the degree to which the test is free from compensating errors. And also, when the proponent said, according to Guilford, reliability is the proportion of the true variance in obtained test scores. So it says that they are pointing that reliability refers to the test results, not the test itself. Our second criteria of a good test is validity. From the word itself, it defines well-based, efficacious, sound, truthfulness. So it means it is not just you are truthful with your partner, but in making also an assessment, you must be truthful. Anyway, truthfulness, anything which is truthful, well-based, and which serves the right purpose is valid. Every test has certain objectives of its own. It is constructed for some specific purpose and it is valid for the purpose. If a test measures what is intended to measure, it is said to be valid. The validity provides a direct check on how well the test fulfill its functions. So validity is the first requisite of the test on becoming a universal. To make it more clear, I will give an example. But let's go back first to the example of reliability for you to differentiate of the reliability and validity. In reliability, our example is, suppose a witness gives the statement before the judge in the court. If on successive cross-examinations or course of questionings, he repeats the same statement again and again, then he is to be called a reliable witness. So means no doubt his statement may be wrong or right. When a statement is true, he is said to be valid witness. But if his statement is consistently wrong, though he is a reliable but not valid. So now you get what validity mean? As what I said, it is the direct check on how well the test fulfills its functions. So I give you some information according to some proponents. So according to Anastasi, the validity of a test concerns what the measures and how well it does so. And according also to LJ Coinback, validity is the extent to which a test measures what is purports to measure. So means validity ensures the reliability of a test. If a test is valid, it must be reliable. So validity are not different types. It is a unitary concept. It is based on various types of evidence. So are we clear? Well, I guess yes. We are all clear for the validity. So, okay, let's go proceed to our number 3 criteria of a good test. It is objectivity. Objectivity means is the most important characteristics of a good test. It is a prerequisite for both validity and reliability. Objectivity of a test means the degree which different situations scoring give the same result. Objectivity of a test refers to two aspects. We have 1. Objectivity of the items. 2. Objectivity of scoring. First, the objectivity of the items means that the items must call for definite single answer. Object items cannot have 2 or more answers. When the question is stated differently, difference in scoring will occur. Okay, for example, your question is explain the concept of a personality. The scores given will vary to large extent because the question does not clearly indicate the nature of the correct answer that is expected. So the student may write anything pertaining to the question. If the answer is scored by different examiners or teachers, the mark would definitely vary. Yes? Of course, yes. So don't note ambiguous questions, look at proper directions, double-barrel questions, questions without negatives, broad essay types questions. So much care is to be exercised while framing the questions. Okay, number 2, objectivity of scoring. A tool is objective if it gives the score or the same score even when different scorers score the item. Objectivity is scoring may thus be considered as consistency in scoring by different scorers. So quite often, in actual situations, we find the scores whim or prejudices influence marking. The questions asked about certain topics to which the scorer has an inclination may fetch more marks than the other questions. So this type of irrational temperaments towards scoring system is a kind of his/her subjective treatment of the syllabus, which in turn affects the evaluation process. So therefore, objectivity in evaluation is to be ensured of accurate evaluation. Okay, according to some proponents, we have first from Sevi Good, defines objectivity in testing is the extent to which the instrument is free from personal errors, or this is what we call personal bias. That is subjectivity on the part of the scorer. And also according to Groenland's and Lean, objectivity of the test refers to the degree to which equally competent scorers obtain the same result. Thus, it can be said that the test is considered objective when it makes for the elimination of the scorer's personal opinion and a biased judgment. To complete our criteria of a good test, here is the number 4, usability. So it defined that the degree in which the tool of evaluation can be successfully used by the test users. So we already discussed the 3 main criteria of a good test. We have first, the validity, the reliability, and objectivity. So another important characteristics of a tool in which usability or practicability. While selecting evaluation tools, one must look for certain practical conditions or considerations, like comprehensiveness or ease of administration and scoring, ease of interpretation, availability of comparable forms, and cost of testing. So in comprehensibility, the test items be free from ambiguity. The direction to the test items and other direction to the test must be clear and understandable. So the directions for administration and the direction for scoring must be clearly stated so that one can easily understand and follow them. So moreover, procedure of test administration, scoring, and score interpretation must be within the comprehension of the user. So next is the ease of administration. It refers to the ease in which a test can be administered. So each test has its own conditions for administration. While selecting a test, one should choose one from a collection of tests which can be administered without much preparation and difficulties. So means ease of administration includes clear and concise instruction for administration. To sum up, it should be easy, clear, and complete. Okay, the third one is ease of scoring. A test, in order to better usable, should have ease of scoring. Its scoring key should be ready-made and can be easily assessed. Sometimes the placement are earned marked at the right hand side of the questionnaires, and in some cases are given on separate sheets. Fourth is of interpretation. If the test scores obtained can be easily understood and interpreted, a test is said to be good. So for this purpose, the text manual should provide complete norms for interpretations of scores such as age norms, grade norms, percentile norms, and standard norm scores. Our fifth is get up of a test. The test should have a nice get up. This must be good and attractive look. The letters must be unnecessary too small or too big. The quality of paper used, typography and printing, letter size, spacing, pictures and diagrams presented, its binding, etc. are to be examined. And lastly is the cost of the text. So the text should be too costly. The cost should be reduced to possible extent so that it can be used widely. And that's all my reports all about the criteria of a good test. Let's have a recap first. What are the criteria of a good test? We have first, reliability, second, validity, third, objectivity, and fourth, usability. When we say reliability, it is the consistent results in the successive administration. And when we say validity, it is the specific purpose or direct check on how well the test fulfill its functions. And objectivity, it means ensuring the accuracy of evaluation. In our usability, it is the look or it is the outlook or the certain practical considerations. It's somewhat or it's something the features of your test. My fellow teachers, thank you for your time and have a blessed day to all of us. I do hope we are all clear on making a good test. It should be based on a criteria. Surely we can produce a good test. I am sure. So once again, thank you so much.